Good evening. My name is Deirdre Sprablis, and I'm the co-president of Impact 100 Jersey Coast. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to our 2021 annual meeting. We're excited to be joining you from the home of one of our 2020 grantees. Thank you to the Monmouth Museum for hosting us in this beautiful space. I'd also like to thank our generous sponsors for tonight's program: the Center for Women in Wealth at Brown Brothers Harriman, New Jersey Natural Gas, Stillwell Hanson, the Grunin Foundation, and Bayshore Recycling. Thank you so much for your continued support and advocacy of our mission. So I hope everyone is ready for a high-impact night. It's exhilarating to think that in the next hour, the Women of Impact Jersey Coast will collectively award $430,000 to 4 incredible nonprofits. Our annual meeting is always a very special night, and tonight we should all take great pride knowing that in 6 quick years, we will have awarded over $2 million to 18 different nonprofit groups, all right here in our community. None of that would have been possible without the support of each and every one of our members. So thank you for showing up, and thank you for making your impact. Now I'd like to turn it over to Karen Waltz, who has stepped into the vice president role this year. Karen has been with Impact for a few years, where you may have met her working in various operational roles. We're excited to welcome Karen to our leadership team and look forward to sharing more organizational updates in the months ahead. So I think we're ready. Karen, I'll kick it over to you.
Thank you, Deirdre, and welcome everyone to tonight's event. I am honored and thrilled to be here with you this evening. Here are a few things you should know heading into tonight's program. All 2021 members should have received a packet in the mail containing tonight's program, which included instructions for voting. Following last year's process, we'll be voting electronically immediately after the finalist presentations. This afternoon at 4 p.m., all of our 2021 members should have received an email from Vote at Impact with the subject line, Vote Your Impact. It is essential you have that email readily available, because this is how you will submit your vote later this hour. If you don't see this email, please check your spam, promotions, or junk folder. If you still can't find it, please text or call the number displayed right now. It is so important we receive each and every one of our members' votes tonight. Your vote is your voice. It is what Impact is all about. One woman, one donation, one vote. Even though we are meeting virtually tonight, over the past few months, we held 6 in-person events, which were a huge hit. We especially loved having our grant finalist reveal at Bellworks last month, where we announced tonight's finalists, enjoyed a lovely reception together. Our recruiting season is all underway, so stay tuned for more membership events in the months ahead. Exactly 1 year ago to the day, Impact 100 selected our 2020 grantees, who have been working tirelessly on the projects we voted to fund. Over the course of our program, we will be sharing videos of these incredible impact our 2020 grantees are making. We're in awe of their dedication and all they've accomplished despite the many challenges of the pandemic. So now, let's watch how Aslen Youth Ministries is making a positive change in the lives of so many children.
Aslen's programs are really designed to build relationships with young people. You have to get to know kids first before they'll even listen to you.
For the kids of Aslen, much of society looks at them and says, you know, they're really not going to do well in school, they're really not going to be productive members of society or whatever. Many of our children come with that attitude about themselves. Our mission is to take young people whose lives are very confused and oftentimes hurting. We provide programs for them that develop their character and help them do better in school and help them start to dream.
You want some more? Okay.
Can we do the one with the hundreds?
The Impact Grant has gone for hiring a full-time director of volunteers.
My experience working with the volunteers has been amazing.
Okay, you want to do some words? If we add one more, what would that be?
I make sure that their needs are met. I talk to them about cultivating relationships with the children that we work for.
By employing volunteer force, we could expand ourselves exponentially.
Before we had a director of volunteers, we were just plugging holes.
Oh, okay, 1,569 plus 300.
This position is critically important to the future of Aslen. When we came to Impact 100, we said, this is a grant that's going to change the face of our organization for the future.
I've been involved with Aslen Youth Ministries for over 27 years, since I've been 12 years old. Now my children are involved.
Several of our students have come back and volunteered in various ways over the years. Some of them have actually served on our staff, and one of them serves on our board of directors now.
I would like to say to the Impact women, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for helping me change the lives of the people I work with. I'm forever grateful to you.
When I was a kid, Aslen Youth Ministry was an adventure for me.
A few weeks ago, we had a little girl, and she actually climbed this 15-foot ladder, zipped about 100 yards down the way, and before, she didn't speak a word until she got up there. And after she finished, she couldn't stop talking. One of these days, she'll say, oh, I can't do that, I can't read, or I can't, that's too hard for me. And we'll say, no, it's not. It seems hard now, but we'll help you. Remember the zip line? We'll help you.
I want us to continue to empower these children with their own gifts.
The children are the heroes. They're the ones that fought so hard against such amazing odds to ever become all the wonderful things that they've become.
Good evening to you all. I'm Ro, proud chair of the Grants Committee.
And I'm Christy, Focus Area Committee, or FAC, Leadership Chair.
And we are so excited to be here to introduce our 5 fantastic finalists tonight. While some of us may be fortunate enough to be seeing some light at the end of a very difficult time, there are far too many people still dealing with and reeling from the impact of the pandemic.
Today, maybe more than ever, our mission to collectively make a positive impact has never been so pressing. The 5 finalists that you will hear from tonight are on the front lines of that response.
Thanks to you all, tonight we will collectively be awarding 4 grants of $107,500 to support them in their important work. The selection of our finalists, one in each of our 5 focus areas, is a result of a thorough and rigorous process.
The job of serving on our focus area committees is immensely rewarding work, but it is also incredibly challenging, given the depth and breadth of the need and the many organizations fighting every day to address those needs throughout Monmouth County.
Nonetheless, our members, yet again, rose to the challenge and went above and beyond, dedicating hours to reviewing applications, analyzing the intricacies of the proposed projects, leading or partaking in multiple virtual site visits with the nonprofits, and finally digging in to commit to the complex conversations necessary to select our 5 finalists. No easy task.
No. None of that would take place without our amazing team of grants and finance committee members, our 10 Fearless Focus Area Committee chairs, our 86 Focus Area Committee members, who together rallied to meet the challenge with commitment, purpose, and thankfully, a bit of humor. Always putting the needs of the community front and center. This year, I had the pleasure of leading the process alongside Holly Dietz and Mary Ann Donahue. They stepped up in a huge way as FAC leadership co-chairs with me, and I'm thrilled to be able to leave you all in such capable hands as they take on the role for next year. You will hear from Holly and Mary Ann later tonight as they get to announce our 4 grant recipients. It has been my absolute privilege to work with the FAC leadership chairs during the last few years. Every year, I have been more inspired than the last by not just the work the nonprofits do to get us here, but also by the women who show up year after year to do what's necessary to get us all to this point tonight. I am forever changed by the impact you have had on me.
And Christy, you have had a huge impact on all of us. We're going to miss you. Thank you so much for everything you've done the last 5 years. Okay, so now let's hear from our 5 finalists, and congratulations again to you all. As you listen to the presentations, please bear in mind that our goal at Impact is to fund transformational projects that map with our funding priorities, which are that they target underserved populations, address unmet needs, and have a high impact on the beneficiary.
Each presentation tonight will be no more than 4 minutes. They have been pre-recorded and they will be shown in alphabetical order, one after the other. When the last video is cast, you will be asked to cast your votes. There will be an instructional video at the end with steps to do just that.
All right, ladies, we are so excited to announce for you tonight our 2021 grant finalists.
Good evening. I'm Beatrice Osterhill. I'm the Executive Director of Community Affairs and Resource Center, CARC. Postpartum depression, PPD, is a serious condition that affects 1 in 7 mothers and 1 in 3 low-income mothers. CARC proposed Project ROSES is an evidence-based program from the University of Michigan and Brown University that demonstrates that to significantly reduce cases of PPD in low-income women by 50%. ROSES is the only PPD training that has been tested in racially and culturally diverse low-income community settings. We were honored when the experts of the university reached out to CARC to implement ROSES as a pilot program. Do you know that in the state of New Jersey, 11,000 to 16,000 women experience postpartum depression every year? When I moved from New York to Middletown, New Jersey 30 years ago, I had a newborn. I started to feel depressed, sad, very tired all the time. At that time, no one was talking about PPD. I wish I had the support system we're providing now to the women in Monmouth County. During COVID-19, we had an increased number of pregnant women in need of our services. Most of them had symptoms of depression due to the social isolation. The reality is that the world was changing for everyone, but women were still pregnant and babies had to be born in a safe environment. This is why one of our most successful programs during the pandemic was the ROSES program. With the Impact 100, we will be able to continue and expand the program to meet the need in the community and assist more women. Most of our clients express a need for home visits, so we will incorporate nurse visits before and after the baby is born. Also, our programs will be delivered in English and Spanish. One of our successful stories is of a 20-year-old pregnant woman, survivor of sexual assault and domestic violence from El Salvador. She was living in one room, sharing a house with 3 other families. Can you imagine that? The ROSES workshops that she received and all the support services from CARC, such as food, rent, and counseling. Her baby was born healthy. She's currently working and in the process of becoming a certified nurse aide. Her postpartum depression symptoms decreased after the ROSES workshop, and she's very grateful of the support she receives at CARC. The Impact 100 will allow us to have a positive impact in multiple pregnant women and their families. Our staff consists of 32 women from 15 countries that speak 8 languages, which allow us to serve and understand a multicultural population. Please help us to decrease cases of postpartum depression and be a valuable support to many families and the future generation of Monmouth County. Thank you, and have a great evening.
"12-year-old Bella was living with her 87-year-old owner, who was diagnosed with dementia, in an assisted living community. With his condition advancing, his family was moving him to the West Coast, and relocating Bella was not an option. When he and his family brought her to Marty's place and said their goodbyes, they knew she would be safe. Marty's Place is the only animal welfare organization in Monmouth County that is a sanctuary, specifically focused on saving senior dogs from being homeless or facing euthanasia. We do so by providing them a home in our sanctuary or, where possible, finding a new adoptive or forever foster home. Equally important to us is how we connect with and help ease the emotional trauma many people experience when surrendering a dog. We are a small grassroots organization that started by providing senior dogs a forever home in our sanctuary. With 400 plus annual requests, we expanded to forever fostering, where a senior dog surrendered to us is placed in a loving home and we continue to pay expenses. In response to requests solely due to financial hardship, we launched a foster in place program to keep the human-animal bond in place. The inspiration for a new program came from Nancy and her dog, Frenchie. In her words, "My income was based solely on disability, and mounting veterinary charges prompted me to consider surrendering Frenchie, my 13-year-old miniature poodle. Marty's Place helped me keep Frenchie and get him the vet care he needed. The nature of my disability, major depression, and epilepsy have all improved. I feel like Marty's Place rescued both Frenchie and me. We want to be there to help more Frenchies and their human owners. With your help, we will create this new program specifically targeting underserved low-income senior citizens who can no longer financially care for their canine companion. Giving up their dog is unthinkable, but a potential reality when they are barely able to meet their own basic needs. With your grant, we can offer seniors the ability to keep their senior pets at home. Marty's Place will cover expenses including food, medication, and veterinary bills. Your grant will also fund the hiring of an experienced elder care specialist as a program coordinator, who will work with our large, dedicated, and passionate group of volunteers. Our program offers a deep and multiplying impact by touching the dogs, their owners, and extended families, and potentially new fosters, adopters, and dogs. In addition to keeping senior dogs happily in their homes, for their senior owners, the benefits are equally as profound, including improved physical and mental health, an increase in exercise, and a creation of a real sense of purpose. We want to be there for the more vulnerable in our community. Mike, 87, contacted us to place 12-year-old Gio. His wife made him promise to care for Gio before she passed away. Now, with his health failing, Mike wanted to honor his wife's wishes, but knew he could no longer manage Gio. Tears were shed when he joined us, but Mike knew Gio would always be well cared for and loved. There is no other program like this in our community, which helps meet the unmet needs of both senior citizens and dogs. Our hope is that with your help, we will be able to save the lives of many more dogs and positively impact the lives of their owners and families. Please support our program, helping seniors keep their senior dogs.
Hello, I'm Teresa Staub. Since the COVID-19 pandemic began, instances of anxiety and depression have doubled in our youth. Just 3 weeks ago, the American Academy of Pediatrics declared the mental health of children and adolescents to be a national emergency. Now is the time to use the arts to help with the healing process. For 50 years, Monmouth Arts has been the leading arts organization in Monmouth County. This transformational grant will support our new Creative Expressions Arts and Wellness program, a county-wide initiative that uses the arts to address the rise in mental health issues in our youth due to the pandemic. With your help, we will reach 2,000 children and teenagers throughout Monmouth County, with a focus on underserved communities like Asbury Park, Red Bank, and Keansburg. We all know that the pandemic has devastated these communities, causing higher levels of trauma and stress. In fact, evidence shows that 80% of children with anxiety disorders are not receiving needed treatment due to barriers of costs and accessibility. This program will take down those barriers. Through this innovative arts program, we'll strive to heal the whole child. Creative Expressions will apply art forms like painting, music, and dance as therapies. We will hire teams of teaching artists and mental health professionals to deliver arts programs and services at no cost directly to schools and organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA. Here's Connie Isbell to elaborate.
Through Monmouth Arts' existing youth arts education programs, we've witnessed the joy of children as they experience art. For a stressed or overwhelmed child, there's incredible healing power in just an hour spent being creative. Research shows that 45 minutes of creative activity significantly lessens stress in the body, regardless of talent or artistic experience. With Creative Expressions, Monmouth Arts is taking this healing power to the next level, expanding our arts programming to include a focus on mental health. Our facilitators will work in coordination and provide instruction to engage students. Over a period of 4 to 6 weeks, teams will build relationships with children and be able to identify those who could benefit from additional mental health services. Monmouth Arts has the necessary resources to make Creative Expressions a success. We have years of experience running arts education programs, a network of artists and arts groups who will deliver the programming, and ongoing relationships with youth centers. Your grant will allow us to deliver this new program without delay.
Thank you, Connie. The Creative Expressions Arts and Wellness Program meets all of Impact's funding priorities, as it will reach 2,000 underserved county children who lack arts programming and mental health services. The program will not only change the lives of our young participants, but will positively impact entire families. Although COVID-19 was the original impetus for this program, the healing power of the arts will continue to benefit county youth throughout the recovery period and beyond. During these unsettled times, engagement with the arts takes on a higher importance, giving us time to create new ways of coping. Nelson Mandela proclaimed, "There can be no keener revelation of the society's soul than the way in which it treats its children." Through Creative Expressions, we can apply his guiding principle and advocate for arts education. We can teach art to children where there is a void. We can encourage creative collaboration between artists and mental health professionals. And we can ensure that a child's mental health does not get overlooked. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. 21 years ago, the community came together to help Parker Family Health Center build a free healthcare facility for Monmouth County residents without insurance or the ability to pay for medical care. Today, and 170,000 patient visits later, we are asking the community to come together again to support a much-needed 1,300 square foot expansion. This addition will enable Parker to meet today's increased demand for medical services. Over 37,000 people in Monmouth County are uninsured. Right here, right now, where we live, these people are often forgotten. We believe that everyone deserves access to health care. Here is your opportunity to be part of the solution. Folks, your grant will help those falling through the cracks. In response to the pandemic, Parker added new resources, such as telehealth and Uber Health. We also have over 130 volunteers who help us treat the underserved of the community. What we don't have and why we are here today is space. Please take a minute and visualize this scenario with me. A new patient comes to the clinic and meets with an intake staff member. This new patient then shares all their personal information. As you picture this conversation, you're probably imagining an intimate setting of patient and compassionate staff worker. You would be correct in your vision, but what you wouldn't see are the 3 other people also working in that same space, phones ringing, other staff members coming in and out throughout the interview. I'm sure you get the picture. There's no private space to gather this patient's personal information. Our expansion will include private areas for these intake appointments. It will also include private space for our telehealth service. Currently, our telehealth appointments are held in a closet-sized room, sharing space with the clinic's internet server and a web of wires. Many facilities have a multi-purpose room. Parker has its kitchen. This tiny room boasts a 3x6 foot table and 4 chairs. Staff sit there for lunch. Volunteer interpreters wait there until called upon. Our prescription assistance volunteers sort and bag nearly $700,000 in medication on that single table. Our expansion will include a multi-purpose room, which will allow for all these uses. I know by now you're probably getting a pretty good picture of why we're here, but now I'd like to tell you about the biggest impact this expansion will have. Of our 130 volunteers, 60 are medical providers. At best, only 2 or 3 of them can see patients at the same time. By adding just one more examining room, we expect almost 1,500 more patient visits a year. That's in addition to the nearly 7,400 patient visits we provide now. With this planned expansion, we anticipate helping an additional 300 county residents. But for Parker, most, if not all, of these patients will seek care at emergency rooms. Emergency room visits in New Jersey average $3,000 per visit. Our increased patient numbers will result in a minimum annual cost savings to our local hospitals of nearly $1 million. But the impact of this expansion will go far beyond any dollar amount or individual patient. It will also impact patients' families and the community at large. If we learned anything from the pandemic, it is that the health of one impacts the health of us all. With your support and the support of other generous donors, we know we can do more. With Impact's contribution, we will have reached 80% of our $520,000 goal and be able to break ground even sooner than expected. We appreciate your consideration and thank you.
Good evening. As many of us know, pregnancy can be a stressful time, and I am sure you will find the following statistics as appalling as I do. New Jersey is the second wealthiest state in our country, yet we rank 47th worst for maternal health outcomes. New Jersey women are dying at twice the rate of national averages. Even more alarming is New Jersey's mortality rate for Black women. They are 4 times more likely to die during childbirth than white women, and Black babies are 3 times more likely to die than white babies. Here in Monmouth County, there are large racial disparities regarding preterm births, low birth weights, and obtaining timely prenatal care. This is unacceptable. We must do better. Community-based doula care can really make a difference, especially with low-income minority women. Can you imagine navigating your pregnancy if you lack stable housing or don't have enough food to eat? Maybe you lack the support or don't speak the language well enough to ask the right questions of your provider. Community-based doulas can be that bridge, acting as compassionate coaches who connect early in a mother's pregnancy and continue to support families for up to 6 months postpartum. These doulas live in the same neighborhoods as the families they serve, understand the challenges these women face, and listen to and respect their hopes and fears. They provide evidence-based information to help them have a healthy pregnancy and act as advocates at their bedside during these long hours of labor in an often confusing and intimidating medical environment. Did you know doula care results in fewer preterm births and low birth weights, lowers rates of C-sections, improves the mother's birth experience, and increases rates of breastfeeding? Yet the women who stand to benefit the most from doula care, at-risk women of color, have the least access to it, financially and culturally. With your help, together, we can change that. Your grant allows us to partner with VNA-CJ Community Health Center and Jersey Shore Medical Center's Family Health Center to establish the first ever Doula Learning Collaborative, which will empower Black and Hispanic women to feel more in control of their childbirth experience and help reduce mortality rates among our local at-risk families. What's more, it will create a career path for these women to serve one another. With your funding, we will recruit 10 prospective doulas from at-risk communities and pay for their training and professional development, including critical business skills taught by Brookdale Community College. These are essential for doulas to build strong, sustainable practices, especially as recent changes in New Jersey law now permits Medicaid reimbursement for doula services. New Jersey is investing in more doula programs around the state, but rarely is Monmouth County first to receive public funding. We can no longer wait. The lives of local, at-risk women and their babies are on the line. Your funding will allow us to directly impact up to 400 women annually through this program. Impact 100's mission of women empowering women to transform their communities lays at the very heart of this project. Your funding will empower at-risk women of color to support each other and their families. Please Help us stop another mother of color and her child from dying a preventable death. Thank you.
Good evening, Impact. Thank you to our 5 finalists and the amazing job that they just did on those videos. It is time to vote. Here's a quick tutorial on how to vote tonight. Step 1, locate your Vote Your Impact email that was sent today at 4 p.m. from vote@impact100jerseycoast.org. After opening the email, you will need to click Vote Here. Step 2, we're going to vote. After you click Vote Here, you will see an electronic ballot. Please rank all 5 nonprofits, with 1 being your top choice and 5 being your last choice. You will use the boxes directly next to each nonprofit to do the rankings. You must rank all 5 or your vote cannot be submitted. When you are done and ready to submit your vote, hit Click Here when done. Step 3, look for this screen that will tell you your vote has been recorded. We thank you so much for voting tonight. To end the survey, hit Click Here. A quick recap. Step 1, locate your Vote Your Impact email sent today at 4 p.m. Step 2, you will vote by ranking all 5 finalists. And when you are done and ready to submit your vote, you will hit Click Here when done. Step 3 is to look for your confirmation screen that lets you know your vote was recorded. Remember, your vote counts, so please contact us if you have any trouble. We are going to leave this slide up for the next 10 minutes so you have more information to call us if you're having any trouble voting. Please join us back here after the voting concludes for the second part of tonight's program. We are now going to take a 10-minute short break. Thanks so much. We'll see you back in 10 minutes.
Welcome back. I'm in-house filmmaker Casey DiStefano, and like you, I am so excited to know who our 4 grant recipients will be this year. But it's going to take a little bit of time for our voting team to tabulate the results. In the meantime, we'd love to share some inspiration from our most recent grant recipients. Earlier tonight, you saw our Aslen Youth Ministries story. Shortly, we will premiere the videos from our other 3 grantees. These videos wouldn't have been possible without the support of the Center for Women and Wealth at Brown Brothers Harriman. This organization provides women with investment planning and philanthropic resources. Thank you for recognizing the importance of telling the stories of our grantees that will inspire people not only to be a part of impact, but also to give our local nonprofits another voice, another opportunity for our community to learn more about them. I really enjoy producing these videos with our grantees and our members. I didn't realize how important volunteering was until COVID hit. There were so many dark moments, but the Women of Impact were one of my guiding lights. We knew that our nonprofits would need us more than ever. And with all that was coming down around us, we kept on mission. We kept volunteering and kept finding new members to join so we could give our communities the support it so desperately needed. Nothing can stop us when we women work together. Being a volunteer member of Impact, you are never alone. And that is our strength. Volunteering for Impact has enriched my life tremendously, and I'd like to urge all of you just to consider it. Our volunteer committee is at the email right below, and they can help you find the role that is just right for you. I'm honored to be a member of Impact 100 Jersey Coast, and I'm honored to share with you our remaining grantee videos. These videos demonstrate how our grantees, sponsors, and members all work together while leveraging their time, talent, and treasure to make a long-lasting impact in our community. So please enjoy our 2020 grantee videos.
What color would you like to add?
Yellow.
Yellow? That's a good choice.
People with special needs need special things, and this is one of those special things.
Hi everybody, how are you? So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our canvases.
David was born with an injury to his brain.
Today we're going to do a field of poppies. We're going to do a blue and white for our sky.
He can communicate his feelings through the art projects that he does.
There's a need for a program like Making Art Possible in our community because sometimes this is a forgotten population.
Yeah.
Okay, turn it this way.
It gives him an opportunity to know that he can accomplish things.
So on your brush, you're going to get some of your white.
What is art? It doesn't have to be a straight line.
Oh, that's good.
Making Art Possible is a wonderful program to really help people with intellectual and developmental disabilities have a consistent creative outlet.
And you'll add to the top of the clouds so that it kind of makes a little bit of a shadow underneath it.
The partnership between the Monmouth Museum and the Ark of Monmouth works extremely well.
So you're just going to kind of start to fill in a big circle.
Originally, it was envisaged to be just a once-a-month program, but because of the popularity with our served individuals, that has now become once a week.
I think what I enjoy most about this work is being a part of somebody's fun time.
It's a chance to connect and to see your friends, to create something beautiful, to be part of a support system.
We're just going to finish adding some of our black pieces to it.
When we do different programs with David on his computer, we'll ask him, where did you see that? He goes, we did that today in art.
Certainly we've seen, and the museum has seen, that the benefits that this brings are almost beyond words.
We do have a student, Josh, who works from home with his mother. he's a young man and he doesn't let his mother often into his personal space. And now all of a sudden, he's pulling up a chair next to him so that his mother can sit right next to him, hold his hand, help him with the artwork. We get chills when we think of that, and she is so grateful for that. Otherwise, she doesn't really have that close physical connection with her son.
At the end of the project, we have an exhibit here at the museum, and the exhibit at the end really allows the opportunity for the community to come together and to see the artwork that they created.
So now I can't wait to see what you've created.
I'm so grateful for what the Women of Impact have made happen for our program and for other grants and other projects throughout the community.
It puts a smile on everyone's faces, not only the person doing it, but the parents.
Of being able to say that you made a difference in the world. That's all I want to do. And Impact gave me that opportunity.
The first time I saw a child that was hungry, I was at lunch duty, and this child showed up with a single bag with 2 Oreos, some chips, and some popcorn in the bag. I said, "Is that your snack or is that your lunch?" She said, "That's my lunch." I said, Who made your lunch?" And she said, "Well, my sister." Well, she was in kindergarten and her sister was in 2nd grade. I said to her, "Well, why don't we go in and see what they have?" It was that moment that kind of sent it home a little bit.
When you think of the areas in which Ocean and Monmouth comprise of, you wouldn't think that hunger is in your back door or through your next door neighbor. The child that your child goes to school with may not have a lunch today because their parents needed to choose between rent and food, and they chose rent. Fulfill has been providing food to our neighbors here at the Jersey Shore for over 30 years. We try to provide an environment that is stigma-free, that if you are hungry, there are no questions asked. Our backpack program is one of a kind. It really is.
1, 2, 3.
What we've learned is that when children go to school, they are provided breakfast and lunch through the school system. But after Friday at lunchtime, they may not eat again until they go back to school on Monday morning and are fed breakfast again. A child is identified through the teacher, through the school system, through a social worker, counselor.
The bags go to the teachers then wait for a moment in the day when the students are at lunch or whatever, and then they put those bags into their actual backpacks to go home. As we expanded the program and got more and more students involved, you realized, wow, this is truly a need.
Prior to Impact 100's funding, we did have a wait list of children that were probably in the hundreds.
Overall, our backpack program serves 1,000 children weekly. Impact 100 was able to help us fund 200 children per week, 800 children monthly, and that provided 4,800 meals.
Because of the grant, we were able to get every single child off the wait list and make sure that they were included as part of the program.
At the end of the year, I always send out an email to the teachers that says we were able to feed this many children every weekend for the entire school year. And it's only thanks to you that we could get this done. And everybody always sends back, it's amazing, this is such a great program.
What's incredible about hunger is that it doesn't discriminate. The Impact 100 grant was extremely vital because we were in the middle of a pandemic. Obviously, children weren't going to school as regularly as they used to, so we needed to pivot a little bit, and we had to go find those children. We had to buy more food than we ever had to buy before, and the Impact 100 grant ensured that the children would not be forgotten.
I had an estranged relationship with my mother. She had me when she was 16. I grew up without a father. I didn't graduate high school. I didn't go to college. I was on the streets in situations where I was being listed on Craigslist, working in hotels with people that were giving me narcotics and beating me and raping me. I lived like that for a really long time. I was a lost cause.
You want to press the button? Yeah. All right.
What I'm really trying to say is that HABCOR really saved my life.
HABCOR's mission is to provide permanent housing and supportive services for people who are experiencing homelessness.
Being homeless, I can't explain to you what it feels like to live like that.
All right, is that good? Okay.
I think a lot of my clients don't have the confidence because the way that they grew up, it's been a cycle of crisis.
We do provide stability by having a permanent home. We're not a shelter. This isn't temporary. By having a resident or family come in and knowing they do not have to leave.
It was really hard for me when I first got housing. It was very foreign to me.
This little spider's just like you going to dance class. Yeah.
Stephanie was with me the whole way.
So when she came to HABCOR, that was the first apartment that she ever had her own lease on and ever had utilities in her name.
You know, all that little stuff that takes time that I had no idea how to do, Stephanie was there for me.
A lot of my clients, I teach them even how to put batteries in a smoke detector, how to change utilities into their name, how to maintain a household, what you need to maintain a household.
So I want them to understand this is now their permanent home. This is a safe environment for them. I want them to be able to touch the walls, hit the light switch, understand where everything is.
Now to find yourself in a safe haven, it takes a while to be comfortable.
3 silly turkeys enjoying the view. One falls asleep and then there were 2.
I currently work with about 30 families for the Independent Pathways program.
This way. This way?
The Impact 100 grant has funded our Independent Pathways program at HABCOR.
Good job.
We have applied in the past, didn't receive, so we came together as a team to really focus what is the best program that is going to make the largest impact. That is our Independent Pathways program. The moment of pride, it was through the roof. That night, Impact and HABCOR changed lives forever. It's that extraordinary.
We're back.
I'm breaking the cycle of 4 generations of women that have grown up alcoholic in domestic abuse situations.
We're going to lend you a hand, but it's your strength that's going to take you.
Just finished school for medical assisting. You can give somebody the support that they're lacking. You may find that person thrives.
The Independent Pathways program is for people that say, I'm strong enough now to live on my own, but I need help. And that's what we're here for.
Those videos are truly inspiring. A huge thank you to Casey DeStefano for capturing the action, the emotion, and all the work being done by these nonprofits to transform our community. These are the stories that remind us why Impact exists and compels us to continue our journey. Good evening, I'm Lori Missig. As the chair of Impact Jersey Coast Membership Committee, I'm excited to officially kick off our 2022 membership year. It's amazing to think of all we have accomplished together as a collective of givers. As Deirdre mentioned tonight, we will cross the threshold of $2 million of funding in Monmouth County. What a huge accomplishment. As we vote for our grantees tonight, we also start again to rebuild our next grant fund, to begin the next leg of our journey together. Each year, we start our grant fund at 0, and we need you to help us rebuild by renewing for 2022. This summer, we had 5 wonderful in-person events and 2 more in October, where we were finally able to reconnect and welcome new women to our collective. I'd love to take a moment to welcome many of the new 2022 members joining us here tonight. And I'm asking those of you in the class of 2021 to join them next year by renewing your membership here and now. So take action tonight via the poll on the right side of your screen. It's right next to the chat feature. How can we count you in for the 2022 membership class? You can simply click one of the options on the poll. Join and pay in full, join and start your monthly installments plan, or join and make your pledge tonight. First of all, we'd love for you to go all in and make your full donation tonight. You can take advantage of our annual meeting promotion where all credit card fees are being waived when you make your donation online between tonight and Sunday, November 21st. I'm so excited about this next option, which is for our new installments plan. You asked and we listened, ladies. In an effort to make Impact membership as flexible as possible, we're rolling out a monthly installments option. You can start your monthly payments tonight and break it into 4 monthly credit card installments of $285. This will allow you to make your tax-deductible donation in full by March 15th, after which we will announce our 2022 grant amounts. You can get more information about our installments plan on our Join Us page, and we'll also be sending you more details in our Sunday membership newsletter. Last but not least, tell us to count you in. If you know you're in for next year, please pledge tonight so we can remind you to make your donation before our drive closes on March 15th. As we move into our 7th year of Impact, and we set our sights on bringing new voices to the table, we will continue our efforts and ensure that the broadest possible ideas and perspectives and experiences are included in our collective. Make no mistake, our membership is our greatest strength. We are committed to bringing issues of diversity, equity, inclusion to the forefront of our work across all parts of Impact, including our membership, our communications, and our grants process. Above all else, we will continue to adapt, innovate, and grow. We have such an exciting season ahead. We'll be hosting a variety of membership drive events in person and virtual that will bring women together to showcase our community's needs. As always, in planning for our gatherings, we will continue to have abundance of caution and prioritize the health and safety of our attendees. So stay tuned for all of our events, which will be posted on the events page. And current members, you are our best advocates. Please consider hosting an event or bring a friend to an Impact event this year. As you finish up your poll that will continue to be on your screen, please remember, the more women we have, the more grants we can give, and the more lives we can impact together. Our voting team is still working hard to tabulate the results. As we wait, it gives me great pleasure to share with you the positive experiences that some of our past grantees have had when working with Impact 100.
Every person that we've encountered in Impact has been so friendly and helpful and encouraging. From the very beginning of making the application to the interview process, it's been a joy to work with Impact 100 because we see how much they care about the organizations they pick. We said, this is a grant that's going to change the face of our organization for the future. So that's how important it was to us. And we hoped that we'd be able to convey that message in a way that we would be chosen. It's extremely smart on people's part to donate to Impact 100. I believe that in today's world, people are interested in their giving. People are very, very generous, but they don't want to give money to organizations, then find out that it was either misspent or poorly spent, and that the goals that were set for that grant weren't ever achieved. So when women are joining Impact 100 through their giving, it's an exponential thing. What's so wonderful about it is that because the processes that you have in place, they can really be guaranteed that at the end of the road, they're going to be jumping up and down saying, yes, 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 I'm so glad I gave to Impact because here are the outcomes, here are the results, the fruit of what I did. Whereas sometimes when you give, you're just hoping that it, hoping that it happens, and you never really get that. With Impact, you really know immediately during the following year, you're going to see all these different groups and what their progress is with the gift that you've given them. And so, yes, give, keep giving. Whenever we applied for funding and different things, we said, get used to disappointment because it might not happen. So we were thrilled that we'd been named a finalist, because that said something in itself. In the back of your mind, you still recognize that, you know, you're one of 5 that's being chosen and one of them might not make it. Then there's that also that thing in the back of your mind saying, well, we really hope we're one of the 4.
So what was it like when you heard that you were receiving the grant?
We were jumping up and down. I mean, everybody in the office that was there, probably about 20 people, and they were absolutely ecstatic. Now we got to live up to this. We got to live up to this and really make it all happen. To all of the members of Impact 100, I would just say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're extremely grateful. You've breathed new life into Lynanne and me, lifted our arms up, helped strengthen our weak knees. And this is the first time where it's been this really close relationship with the organization. And I can't tell you how encouraging that's been to us. But thank you, thank you. It's been a fantastic ride so far, and I just hope that we live up to every one of your expectations. That's what our goal is, and ultimately it's for these children.
Several years ago, HabCorp learned about Impact 100 through another organization. They came to us and said, you need to be involved. We applied as a collaboration a couple years ago. We went through, we were one of the first finalists. We got a site visit. To us, we won because more people knew about HabCorp that had never known about us before. Being involved with Impact 100 at this time in our lives, because of the changes in the world and in our community, has been more extraordinary than ever, and it is a blessing. It literally is a beacon of life. The process that was handed to us through the Impact 100 grant taught all of us patience, focus, direction, be clear, precise, and it was the support of the Impact 100 team that helped us do this. Every step, Impact 100 guided us. And then the night of, it was a cold night that Impact 100 was announcing the finalists.
HabCorp.
We chose a location outside. We had a bonfire. We had our clothes and our mittens, and we all had laptops. And we watched it virtually live in our backyard. And the moment of pride, it was through the roof.
Thank you so much. Holy smokes. Really, really appreciate this. I mean, this is amazing. You're an amazing group of women who are doing this for the community.
It was really a game changer for the esteem of our staff and our team. We all just could not believe that Impact 100 recognized us. They truly heard what we had to say. And they chose us. And to this day, I mean, when I think about our families and I think about all the work and the time, it is such a moment that I will never forget. None of us will ever forget, because we know that night, Impact and HabCorp changed lives forever. You changed our life, and hopefully we were able, and we will continue to be able to change people's lives. It's that extraordinary.
Hi, I'm Holly Dietz.
And I'm Marianne Donahue.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The votes have been tallied and the results are in. Marianne?
I don't have the envelopes.
You don't have the envelopes?
No, I don't have them. No. Ro, do you have the envelopes?
Good luck. Let's do this.
Whoa! Envelopes.
Here they are, Marianne and Holly.
As we were saying, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The votes have been tallied and the results are in.
Here are the 2021 grant recipients.
Hello, everyone. It's Casey again. I bet you were expecting to see Marianne and Holly, but don't worry, they're fine. COVID has hit our production location, and out of an abundance of caution, we've decided to stay safe and not come together as a group for the live portion of our event tonight. So it's just me here with you giving away $430,000 in grant funds. I'm so excited. And a big thank you to all 5 of our finalists for educating us about your important and impactful work. Members and friends, please go to our new and improved and beautifully designed, thanks to our marketing committee, website and check out each organization's wish list. We are thrilled to announce that our community partner, Ocean First, has generously agreed to provide a grant of $2,500 to our runner-up tonight. We're so grateful to Ocean First for providing these funds and continue to support the work of our local nonprofits. And now, we are pleased to announce our 4 2021 grant recipients. I'm going to announce each organization in no particular order. Once I've called the names, I will invite them to say a few words live from wherever they are celebrating tonight. Okay, here is Impact 100 Jersey Coast's first 2021 grant recipient. And the grant goes to Community Affairs and Resource Center. Congratulations, Community Affairs.
We are thrilled. We're happy. I think we're going to help a lot of pregnant women in Monmouth County. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you to
Congratulations.
Wow.
Here is Impact 100 Jersey Coast second 2021 grant recipient. The grant goes to Visiting Nurse Association of New Jersey. Congratulations, Visiting Nurse Association.
Thank you so much, Impact 100. The community has really waited so long for this doula program, and guess what? Now we don't have to wait. Your funding will give us a right to be able to get doulas into Monmouth County. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, here is Impact 100 Jersey Coast third 2021 grant recipient. The grant goes to Monmouth Arts. Congratulations, Monmouth Arts. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. We are so appreciative of this award, and I want to thank our wonderful team, Kathy, Marta, Dr. Penn, and Casey, we can't thank you enough. We're looking forward to doing wonderful things with this grant. And thank you to all the Impact 100 members. You are the best.
Here is Impact 100. Here's the quote. And final 2021 grant recipient. The grant goes to Parker Family Health Center. Congratulations, Parker Family Health Center.
Enable us to serve so many more people in Monmouth County. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our 2021 grant recipients. Once again, we would like to thank the Monmouth Museum for hosting our program and to member Casey DeStefano of DStef Media for producing this incredible event and videos. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. I hope you share our excitement knowing that 4 incredible projects will have a positive impact on so many lives. Thank you to our 2021 members for helping turn what were once proposals into projects. So now the work begins for our 2021 grant recipients who are poised and ready to do great things in the year ahead. And speaking of the year ahead, we are thrilled to see those 2022 membership renewals coming in tonight. In order to continue our impact, we need each and every one of you to please join our 2022 class. So take that important step and make your commitment tonight. Thank you, and this concludes our program. Cheers to another amazing year ahead.